have nothing in the world. Notice when I click this, it's still there. Right? I have nothing in the world. Do you see that there's an RGB thing there? These things are the world axes. And that point right in the middle of the world axis is 0, 0, 0. Okay? You remember this is science and all that stuff. And everything to the right and to the front, sort of the right and the back of that, is the positive, whatever. Yeah, positive, negative, positive, positive, negative, 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 on and on and on. So those are 6 quadrants that exist around that 0, 0 axis. It's kind of cool, actually, because we can find things out. Now notice, any object that I put in the world also has an axis, and that object is actually in the same place as the world axis. Now, the fact of the matter is that I can, this thing is called the gizmo, let's just call it a gizmo. I can grab the gizmo and move it away from the world axis. But notice that that axis is tied to that object. Okay? As long as I'm in vector form, I can never choose the axes and move it away from the object. It's always in the same place as the object. Okay? So, the point is the moment I make it into raster, I can now actually move that away from the object. It can be in a different place. So I want you to know that you can play with that. And there are times when you're designing and doing things that you'll want to. Most of the time, you're just going to leave it right where it is. Now, that has to do with selection, and that has to do with the axes. I'm sorry, that has to do with the axes. We really didn't do any selection. That just has to do with the axes. If we go to points, we're now going to select, and we're going to do so by choosing this button, which is the arrow, and you can choose things by dragging over the top of them. You can loosely drag over the, on and on and on. But I can just simply choose. You notice that the mouse button becomes a paintbrush. And you notice that as I move over the top of things, they become selected. The other thing I want you to notice is that if I select something, and then I use the shift key on the keyboard, I can add to my selection. And if I use the command key, the control key, I can take away from the selection, right? This is true of many programs. You can use the modifier keys to add and subtract from selections. All right? So that's very cool. Now at the same time, I want you to know that I have move, scale, and rotate. And notice that the gizmo changes each time. When it's move, it's an arrow, arrow, arrow. When it's scale, it's box, box, box. And when it's rotate, it's like that. If we do move, I can move any way I want as long as I'm in the right anatomy over here. I want to move the object. And I can move it anywhere I want. Or by selecting the gizmo, I can force it to move only along those axes. Now I want to say something that is valuable. You don't have to memorize it, but it helps. RGB equals X, Y, Z. Red, green, blue equals X, Y, Z. Sorry, in this program it's backwards. Y is up and Z is away, right? Now you can think about this like your hand. I'm going to change this and you can create your hand like this. Point your finger ahead, bend your fingers so they're 90 degrees from this finger, and have your thumb up. This is the hand that built the world. The x-axis goes from shoulder to shoulder. In this program, the y-axis goes up and down, and the z-axis goes away from you and towards you, the x, y, z. Okay? Now that's kind of cool because this is the way that people, time immemorial, have explained to other people how to build the things they want. Architecture, ships, buildings, on and on and on. All right, now we got to get this back in place.
Can we tilt this up?
Can you tilt it up? Yeah, I think you can. There you go. Is it high enough? Now you got to make sure to get the whole thing in. All right, got it?
Yeah.
Obviously, I got some editing to do on this. But I'll put it up anyway, and you can breeze through the sections. All right, so that gizmo, that's brilliant. RGB equals X, Y, Z. So you can always look and tell how to manage things, what to do with it. Now, move works like I described. You can grab, notice that it becomes yellow when I grab the red. Notice it becomes yellow when